And welcome back to Mastering Sales with Brent Gove. I'm your host, and we're going to go hard and heavy here for the next 10 minutes. I have two tips for you today, and I think this is going to be pretty exciting. So tip number one is for buyers. The second tip is how to get a signed listing agreement every time you go on a listing appointment. What do you do if they're not ready to list for 6 months or a year? How do you get a signed listing agreement with not coming off salesy, without coming off slimy or weird? So I could never do that. I'd be like, I see Lee Tessier on here. Hey, Lee. But I'd be like, oh man, you're ready to list next October. It's February. I would say, okay, Lee, well, you want a roofer? I get the best roofer. You're redoing your deck? I have the best general contractor. You want to paint the house? I get the best painter. Would you like me to give you all three referrals? And I would stay in Lee's life until next October, hoping to, provide so much value that maybe in September or October, a month before, I could go back again and list the home. I didn't list it in February and have it sit there till, and so I'm going to teach you how to actually get a listing in February. And they're ready to list next January. Why? Well, if you leave it out there like a peach to be picked in Georgia, like a cherry to be picked in a cherry tree, you're going to lose that listing. Sometimes it's a $3 million listing, $2 million listing. Once you get a signed listing contract, it's on lockdown. So we're going to talk about how to do that for your sellers. But first, I'm going to give you a little trick for the buyers. How do you set yourself apart? How do you become different than everybody else? People, have you ever done an open house? You just, we have a feed from realtor.com. We are on Zillow every day. My agents has me on a drip system from the MLS. We know everything that hits the market. And I said, well, that's true to a degree, but here's one thing that you don't know about me that's unique. Would you like to buy from a seller who, doesn't get his price of 600,000? He's like, forget it. He's like doesn't want to move on that price. And maybe it's 1.6 million or 600,000 or 300,000 or 3 million or $10 million. I know Pete Middleton just sold a house for 6.6 million today in La Jolla. But how many of us want to deal with a seller who just is non-negotiable? Well, I have found a way. What sets me apart from every other agent in Nashville, Boise, Tucson, Miami, New York, Sacramento, California, is I specialize in marketing the vacant homes. Like, vacant homes? Why is that important? Well, let me ask you a question. If you packed up your house and you moved to Nashville, you moved to Austin, Texas, you moved to Scottsdale, Arizona, and your home is now empty. See, I've listed these homes, and the seller's like, oh my God, I'm making double mortgage payments. It's double trouble. That's what we call burning the boats in the proverbial bay. And guess what? People whose homes are vacant, they are desperate. The price may be 600 or 1.6 or 3.8 million, but what you don't know is they're feeling the heat. They're feeling the pressure. So I'm probably one of the only agents here in Portland, Oregon, in Vancouver, British Columbia, that specializes in the vacant properties. I publish this list. Everyone write down that word right now, publish. Nobody talks like this. I publish, you can get it in the MLS. But you can't get it from Zillow. You tell them you can't get it from Redfin. You can't get it. Agents don't put it out. But I have found a way to bring you all the desperate, highly motivated, not every time, but 80% of the time, man, they will drop that price. How would you like to not pay 600,000 and pay 5 or 520? How would you like to go, instead of paying $1.6 million, pay $1.4 million? If someone's living in it, do they want to just cut the price $100,000 or $200,000? No. But if somebody needs the cash and they're in a situation like, I need to sell, and maybe the home's inherited to the kids and they got 4 kids, hey, we each get 50,000 less. We got a buyer for 1.4 right now. We each get 50,000 less, but we get to divide up 1.4 million. If we got 1.5, which is probably what it's worth, we all get 25,000 more, but maybe not. We got a buyer here that'll close in 10 days for 1.4. Let's do it. And all of a sudden, see, this is who I am. And so if you work with me, you can't get the list. Zillow doesn't know what homes are vacant. If they did, they'd put it out, and every thief in town would go know which homes to break into that's empty. Nobody does this. But if you work with me, there's no law that says I can't, and I'm smart. And so I put out the vacant home list only to the people I work with. All I need is your email address. Super simple. And you get a copy of all the vacant homes in Austin in your price range, all the vacant homes in Nashville, all the vacant homes in Tampa every Friday. So you can go look at them, and you have my permission to go right up onto the property, look through the windows, go through the side yards, go in the backyard, put your foot in the pool. You know, I've been saying this stuff for 25 years. No one's been shot yet. But right. So if the laws in your state are different, then don't do it. But in California, you can, you know, it's a vacant house. You go right up. You wouldn't do that with the home you found on Zillow, Redfin. You wouldn't walk up and put your face through the bay window. You wouldn't be a good thing, now would it? And so they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. And they go, okay, sure. Yeah, here's my email address. So make it easy. They've just made the biggest mistake of their life, because their job is to hide from you, the agent. They've given me their email. Now we're exchanging information. I go, oh, by the way, I suppose you don't want me to send you vacant homes at 200,000 and vacant homes at 2 million. What price you shopping? I don't want to spam your email with a gazillion homes that don't apply to you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're looking at homes between 5 and 600,000, or between 1.5 and 2 million. Okay, good. That's all I'm going to send you. The vacant homes between 5 and 600,000, or 1.5 and 2 million, or $5 or $8 million. Those are going to be the homes I'm going to send you. By the way, is it okay if I send you 2-story homes? Oh, thanks for asking. No, single story only. Awesome. Now, do you have a certain square footage? Oh, they'll say stuff like any square footage. I go, so if I sent you a 900 square foot home, you'd actually buy that? Oh, no, heavens, no. Okay, I see your point. 3,000 square feet minimum. Okay. And now they don't know. I'm building a rapport with them. We're exchanging information. Minimum bedrooms, that really doesn't matter. So I send you a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, a 1-bath. No, of course not. Okay, yeah. A 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I go, does garages matter to you? Would you like a 1-car garage, 2-car? And I'm asking them questions. How about the age of them? Do you want a really old home that smells like an old dog? Or do you want something new and nice? Like, oh, I want something new and nice. I kind of like, what's new and nice to you? 2000 and new. Other people, it's 2015 and newer. Other people, new and nice is 1990 and newer. I just said, what do you want, man? Do you want a view? Do you want a pool? What about lot size? Does it matter? This is hilarious. No, I don't care. Lot size doesn't matter to me. So a 0 lot line house is fine, where you're knocking on your neighbor's wall. There's no fence. That's your neighbor's family room is the fence. Oh, no. We don't want that. I guess you want more of a traditional family lot. Those really start around 0.14. And they go, yeah. I go, what would you want in your dream if you could have your dream? Well, man, we'd love 1/3 of an acre. We'd love an acre. So I write down, we'll accept 0.14. And I'm building rapport with them. How many minimum bedrooms, bathroom? Oh, we really need a 5-3. Oh, do you guys have some kids? Yeah, we got a lot of relatives. We're always hosting. And now I'm building rapport with them. We're starting to become buddies and friends. And it's all, hey, just need your email address. And then I go, oh, by the way, you don't really spam me with every vacant home in Nashville. Like, what part of Nashville? West Nashville, north of Nashville? I'm the whole thing. Okay, fine. And I always say, well, what city? Sacramento's a big place. I mean, I'm here in Roseville. Oh, yeah, good point. Just Roseville, Rockwood. You ever thought about Lincoln? Yeah, I like Lincoln. That's okay, Lincoln. Have you thought about Granite Bay and Loomis? We probably couldn't afford it. I go, you can't on my vacant home program. I'm going to find someone that drops the price. And so, you get excited with them, and they'll say, well, I already have an agent. I say, good, keep your agent. But your agent, are they providing you this vacant home list? No. And by the way, I network with about 50 of the top agents. By the way, there's 47 on here right now. And we ask people, what do you got coming online? Here's what I got coming online. And actually have our market listings. This isn't just something you're saying. Even if you're brand new here, you can go to the ballers and go, what do you got coming online in Newcastle? What do you got coming online in Penryn? You got anything coming on Grand Lake? What do you have coming? Well, I got this in Folsom. Tell me about it. Blah, 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 blah. And say, I know of a place coming online. You can tell them real stories. So you have integrity and authority. And guess what? Your agent can't get you this because they're not in my inner circle with the biggest superstars in real estate. I am one of those people. I hang out with those people, and we trade our listings like baseball cards. How long have you been looking? Off and on for half a year. I said, man, I go, sounds like it's not really working for you. I promise you, I'm going to find your dream home in the next week or two. And every day you look, you're just looking, calling people. Clark Broom, you got anything? Pam Teresa, you got anything? Philip Ma, you got anything? Isaac Hansen, you got anything? Dave Straitman, what do you got? What do you got? And you actually go looking for them, and you find something for them, and you perform. And there's a passion and an intensity because daddy's going to kill something, bring it home, feed it to the family. Mama, go cave woman, go kill something, bring it home in that intensity. Because listen to me, if you don't get intense, you're going to get buried in this market. This market is no joke. Worst market in 40 years. And you could go, oh, no, the sky's falling, or baby, let's go. I was born for this moment. And when it gets better, you will kick butt. You'll do so good, right? I couldn't imagine going to Tokyo and getting in real estate and having to learn Japanese. I couldn't imagine going to China and getting in real estate and having to learn how to speak, Mandarin Chinese or something. But there's people come here and they learn English and they do it. We got no excuses. You're too comfortable. Turn off the Prime, Amazon Prime Video, turn off Netflix, get rid of Hulu. On my phone is no Facebook, no Instagram. You send me an Instagram, hey, take this funny thing, I can't even watch it. I don't have Instagram on my phone. I'm not signed in. Oh, please sign in. I don't know my password. I don't care. I don't spend my time watching dogs throw up and play with balls, or kittens fall off things and they got saved. I mean, it's great. We all love seeing animals get saved. We love seeing people skate and fall through the ice as long as they don't get hurt. It's funny. They get up, they scramble out. Oh, the ice broke. What is that really doing for you? What is YouTube really doing for you, and Facebook and Instagram? I don't have it on my phone. I'm very focused. I live it. I don't watch life. I live it. I want to challenge you. So that's my advice for those of you buyers. You specialize in the vacant home list, because these people have burned the boats. They are desperate sellers. I just say, would you like to buy your home from a desperate seller? Or there's a seller like, hey, if we don't get a price, we'll try again next year. Whose home do you want to buy? 3 beautiful homes, 2 completely unmotivated sellers. Here they are. And then the third one's in the middle. Me. I moved here. The home is empty. I burned my boats in the harbor. The price, they are like, I'm so stressed out. I just want to sell the house. Every time? No, just 70, 75, 80% of the time. So that's what makes you different than any other agent in your market. Okay, final thing I wanted to say was some advice for how to get a listing every time you walk out of there. So typically we've all been on listing appointments, and they're not always ready to list like today. Yeah, we want the home on the market this Monday. Those are easy, fine, list it, do all that. But what do you do when they're like, yeah, we're not ready till the summer? Had you come out? Do you think I should do some yard work around here? Yeah, it's looking, Do you think I should paint? Yeah, you probably should paint. And you're giving them some pointers how to get their home ready to get on the market. Go easy though. You give them too much work to do, they're like, that guy wants me to spend $100,000 on my house. Be smart. Be easy, tread lightly. Don't say that is a really horrible color. I've gotten listings that way because the wife was so insulted that the purple wall in the dining room, the agent said was horrific and they needed to paint. And she was offended, and I got the listing. What do you think of that color? Yeah, it's unique. It's different. I like it. Once I get the signed listing agreement, I go, yeah, we're probably going to get a painter here. Let's get a stager in here. They're like designers. Let's have her. And then she's the one who says, yeah, that purple wall's got to go. I let them be mad at the stager. I have a signed listing agreement. It doesn't matter what happens now. Be very careful with giving out advice. But what I do is, let's see. I'm going to go with Lee Tessier. Lee, unmute yourself real quick. Lee is from Maryland, I believe. Lee, are you from Maryland?
I am.
What I thought. Lee sells like 20 or 30 homes a year, something like that. Lee, how many homes do you sell a year, actually? What is the number?
Last year stuff, we did 300s, but usually it's 450.
I missed it by at 0 to, and I know Lee sells a ton of real estate. That's a whole 300 or 400 homes last year. So Lee, what I would say to Lee, I'm gonna role play with Lee. Lee, sure. Where do people move to Maryland? And if you don't have an answer, you're going to screw it all up for us. So I hope this works. I don't know my geography really well, but usually most people have an area where people move in. They're from a more expensive area. And is there anyone who moves to Maryland and thinks the price of real estate is cheap compared to where they're from? And maybe a smaller people. Okay, like where? Name an area, like if you're in Maryland, and you say, hey, we get a buyer coming from this area. Everyone's like, oh my God, they pay cash. They think their eyes are this big. They think
California.
real estate's cheap. Where?
California.
Okay,
So just in
California.
general, California state.
So California, well, let's give everyone an example. What would it cost to buy an acre property in Maryland with 3,000 square feet and a pool? What's something like that cost? I have no idea what you're going to say. I'm sure not everybody knows here. How much?
So the people are coming in there 750,
About
750,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So depending upon in California where you're from, that's a $5 million property. In the Bay Area, it's a $5 million property. San Diego, an acre anywhere along the ocean with 3,000 square feet in a pool, it's a $3, $4, $5 million property. So he says 750. So yeah, people from California this big. So if Lee says he's not ready to put his home on the market till this September, he wants to get the kids out of school, go through summer, he's going to get on it, sell in the fall, maybe close by November, December, and start next year, 2025, and wherever Lee wants to move to, right? So I go, Lee, here's the deal. We could totally work on the deck, the painting, getting that roof repair, kind of remodeling. You talk about remodeling a couple of your bathrooms and updating them a little bit. We can do that. But here's the deal. We took a look at the market. We know that your home's probably worth $750. Here's what I want to do. I specialize in marketing to people from California. And you guys can contact Facebook and do boosting. And for $25, you can get 100,000 people that are professionals that make a certain income bracket, and you could send them Lee's house. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send it to 100,000 professionals. I don't tell them it's only $25, Lee. I go, but I specialize in marketing people from California. And Lee, let me ask you a question. Who do you think pays the most money for real estate in Maryland? And Lee's gonna say, people from California, right, Lee? So this is who I represent. So here's what I want to do right now. I want to list the home for 850,000, about 100,000 more than you're like, you would be happy. You and I looked at your home. We know it's worth between 7 and 750. I want to list it to 850. And here's why, Lee. I have people who come out from California. They don't come every weekend. They come once or twice and buy a house. Once or twice and buy a house. They think 750 is like, you're giving them away. Now, someone from Maryland, do they think 750 who grew up here is super cheap for a 3,000 square foot home? Or do they think it's expensive? Which is it, Lee?
It's expensive.
Yep. So I don't specialize in marketing to people from Maryland because they want to get the price down. They're grumpy. They think your price is too high. So if I were to bring you a pool of buyers, you'd probably want them to be from California, right, Lee?
I do.
So in Sacramento, we say San Francisco and San Jose, the Bay Area. They have eyes this big. They're like, oh my gosh. I mean, I'll take two, right? And I said, so Lee, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to list the home right now for $850,000, but we're not going to put it on the market till next September when you want, but I'm going to keep this as a pocket listing. I literally tuck that's what it's called in the industry. Right. It's going to be a pocket listing. Only I will know about it. Cause here's the deal. I get people from California that come out here and they hate everything I show them, and they're desperate and they're motivated. They can't keep flying back and forth from California. And guess what? 750, 850 really doesn't matter to them. It is like that. Your home would be 3.8 million in Los Gatos. It would be $5 million in La Jolla. At 750, 850, it don't matter. And after their second or third trip, you're like, we need to buy a house. And sometimes they're doing a 1031 exchange, which is on the deadline. I said, look, I've shown you everything. You hate it all. There's not a lot of inventory. I got this one listing. Homeowner Lee Tessier, great guy. It's not going on the market till next September. But I said, Lee, I'm going to show it once or twice. I'm not going to put a sign in the yard. I'm not going to market it. Because when you put a sign in the yard, you can get turned in. When you market it, you can get turned in. And I don't tell the homeowner this. I just say, I tell them the truth. It'll be a pocket listing. Only I will know about it. And if I show your home, you're managing the expectation, it'll be once or twice to probably a cash buyer from California who is desperate and they've seen everything. And I'm going to tell them the price is $850 non-negotiable. And it's as is. And there's a good chance I'm going to sell your house for $850. You don't have to redo the decks. You don't have to paint it. You don't have to remodel the 2 bathrooms. You don't have to do the roof repairs. They're just going to buy it $8 because they got to go. If I can get you $850 all cash, And I know you're not ready to move because you think, well, Brent, if you sell it here in March or April or May, I'm not really ready to move until next January. I go, and I will also set up, I can guarantee I can get you a rent back till next January or February. Guaranteed. How can you guarantee that? Because if we don't, they won't give us the rent back, we don't sell the house. We're in control. He who has the gold said makes the rules. They want my house. The price is $850. It's non-negotiable, and we need a rent back through next January or February. At what do you pay currently for the house? I paid $2,400 a month. That's what the rent, we set the rate. And this is it. It's a rent back at $2,400 a month. It's this price. And if they don't give us those terms, we don't sell, Lee. So you're safe, but I might show it once or twice. But if I do, it's going to be to a highly motivated cash buyer, likely from California. And so I'm not going to be bothering you much, but what do you say we list it right now for $850? And then next September, if I don't sell it, we'll reevaluate it. Maybe it's $750, etc. And oh, someone's calling me. Of course, somebody's calling me. How do I send this person to boom? Okay. So when someone calls, Rob, I got to somehow find a way to get that off. That always makes my whole screen go blank on the Zoom. But anyway, so I go, so what do you say we do it right now? They're like, they look at each other and go, yeah. And I go, so you get 100,000 more than you were planning, and you don't have to paint the house, do the roof repairs and all. You were going to spend 20 or 30. You're actually netting 120 to 130,000 more. And once you kind of get used to it, they'll sign, and then I just put on there 6% commission as an example. You could put 10%, you could do 4%, charge whatever commission you want. Sometimes if on a lower home, I'll charge 8%, right? If it's a lower home, right? You could charge more. Attorneys charge whatever they want. One CPA charges me $385, another one charges me $3,800. One is 10 times more. Charge what you're worth. And so, but on there, for example, I would do 6% a lot of the time. I'm not saying you should do that number. And then I offer out 2.5, and I go, here's 2.5. That's what we have a broker. No one ever asks why. Why isn't it 3 and 3? I go, because they ain't not marketing your house. I am. They buy a cup of coffee for the client, run around on the weekends. I have the marketing dollars for your house. Okay, that makes sense to them. I don't make it a big deal. And so if now if in the MLS, if everyone expects 3, it should be 3. So I think you're hurting your seller. If your MLS they're offering 3%, I think you should match that, because if you do 2.5, a lot of the buyers will, maybe they'll show your home, but they'll show it last, or they'll say, I don't think you should buy it. Smell funny, whatever. You laugh, that stuff happens. And so you will get a signed listing agreement. I taught this to a gal who was leaving her listings and then coming back, and we listed with our my boss's wife. We listed with our niece. She got her license this summer, and we didn't want to have a thing in the family, so we gave her our $2 million house. And she's never sold a home, but now she has a $2 million listing because it's her niece. People want to help stuff. Whereas, I'm sorry, we listed the home. It's locked down. And so you do a year listing contract, and she got 12 listings doing this. She double-ended, I think, 7 of the 12 listings. She had her own private MLS. This totally works. It's not a gimmick. You said, I'll show it once, maybe twice, maybe not at all. But if I do, it'll be a motivated cash buyer from New York, from Manhattan, from West Palm Beach, from wherever they come, where they think your prices are cheap. And then Facebook, do little $25, $50 boosts into there. You'll actually get clients, and you're not making it up. Is that helpful, everyone? That's how you get a signed listing agreement, instead of, doing what I did for 15, 20 years, which was add so much value, come back and hope the listing was still there. A lot of times I come back and it was, but they're like, well, we think we should interview with Coldwell and Remax. And all of a sudden now I'm competing for a listing I could have just locked down 6 months, 8, 9 months ago. Was that good? Wave at me. Was that good, everyone? Is it cool? Thumbs up. Okay. All right. You guys are great. So, hey, we will see you. Lee, thanks for role playing with me. We'll see you next Thursday at 4:30 Eastern for 1% agent attraction, and 5:10 Eastern for mastering sales. Peace out. Love you guys. Have a great week. We'll see you in Cabo. For the rest of you, see you in Cabo next week. Bye for now.